Killian, he is Sub-Zero, now playing podcaster, because the Rain Man is coming up next.
Haven't Seen It with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tiffany. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time. And today, that is myself. Tommy, you have seen The Running Man before, yes?
Oh, I love the Rain Man. I've definitely seen it a few times before.
And our very special guest returning to the podcast live from the basement, Connor Dowling, joining us as always. How are you, sir? You've seen this before?
Oh, yes. How's it going, lads? Good to see you. Great movie.
Good movie, fun movie. We're covering this week, obviously, with the upcoming release of the Glenn Powell, Edgar Wright remake of The Running Man. And I enjoyed The Running Man. Like, I had fun watching it. And we've talked about this before on the podcast, but like, studios will re-release and remake these like older movies or older projects or whatever for like a quick buck. Like there was like I feel like the early 2010s was like the boom of this, where it's like Red Dawn and you had the RoboCop remake.
Halloween.
Yeah,
Total
everything.
Recall.
Total
Yeah.
Recall. All of these where you're just like, ooh, those movies are so great. Leave them alone. Like, I think this is a fun movie, but I could definitely see it. You could tell many different types of this story, which from what the trailers indicate, it seems to be going a much different angle than the original Running Man does with the story. And I think like with updated visual effects, it could look really good too. I think Edgar Wright's directing style, like that snappy pace, will work really well with the kind of like he directs action so well
Oh,
in all of
yeah.
his movies. So I am looking forward to that, and I feel like this is like the perfect candidate for like, oh, we haven't touched this in 40 years, like let's make another one.
Yeah. I don't think that anyone's like offended that they're remaking the Rain Man. This is a fun movie. This movie rocks. It's a fun Arnold movie, but it's not like his upper tier of classics. Like when you talk about Arnold, there's like a certain tier of like all of his movies. Where like tier one, like his A tier, A plus is like Terminator 2, like Total Recall's,
Terminator.
yeah, and Terminator, and then like True Lies, most of James Cameron efforts. And you have like the tier right below that, where like I'd say probably Kindergarten Cop's in that tier. I'd say
Love
this is
Kindergarten
probably in
Cop.
this tier too.
No, I would put this a tier below. I think I'd put this in
Actually,
your
yeah,
tier with like
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 Raw Deal.
and like Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
You look at The Running Man, you don't look at it in terms of greatness, because there's a billion ways to rank Arnold's greatness. You know, Bill Burr had that great skit. How many lifetimes to be as great
Yeah.
as Arnold, you know? But a cool way to look at The Running Man is it's directly in between like two big phases of Arnold. You had like your unstoppable killing machine, where it was like Conan the Barbarian. You had like, you know, Cobra, Delta Force, like Predator. You had Terminator, like just this unbelievable monster. Then later, like you do see he's an actor. He gets, you know, in Total Recall, he starts memory, depth, like you start adding character. This is, I think, such a great Arnold movie. Doesn't get enough credit because it actually shows he's introspective for, I think, one of the first times. Like, he does do some acting here. It's
Yeah.
a
Does he?
goofball, zany movie, but there's some meat on that
Tim's
bone.
Tim's immediately here to hate, but no, I
Every time.
think this is
I
probably the most.
love Arnold. I love Arnold, but this was just like One Line Machine, the movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But it's a step in the right direction. You know,
he does have a little more depth.
Serious. And I think it's a great, super fun movie. And is this his best performance? Of course not. It's definitely fun, but it's first he's like, what if I tried to think about what he was thinking? Like,
So,
you know?
to put in the context of Arnold's career, so this is 87. Pretty much Terminator came out in 84. Then he had Red Sonja, which I think is not anyone's like favorite Arnold movie. Then he had Commando, a total classic, the first time Arnold played a normal guy. Then you go into Raw Deal, which is a fun cop movie, not that memorable though. And then '87 is probably, like, another breakout year for him. He has Predator, Stone Cold
That's
classic.
S tier that's S tier, Arnold.
Yeah,
S
that's
tier.
S tier Arnold, without a doubt. And then he had the Rain Man also that year, which is not S tier Arnold, but still a really fucking fun blast of a movie.
I was just sitting there watching this movie and thinking, like, man, studios used to just make these movies for, like, whatever it was, $15 million and just throw them into theaters, and, like, we would get them every weekend, like so Glenn Powell was just on the rewatchables, and Bill Simmons talked about the year that movie The Truman Show came out. They were covering The Truman Show,
Yeah.
1998, which definitely I could see some similarities too of, like, the live broadcasting everything, like, and how Powell, like, being a big fan of Truman Show could get attached to a project like this. Um, and he was talking about, like, he names, like, 28 different genres of movies that were all, like, pretty big releases for just different audiences of people, and he was like, "It's crazy that studio," because now it's like, we either get
Narrow.
all or nothing, like, right like, 2025 has been the year of, like, all of, like, art-ish horror, I feel like has been, like, the predominant theme of films released this year, you know?
Mm.
But it's like, it's cool that we're getting them, but, like, where's the family movie? Where's the random, you know, indie movie that blows up? Where's the random there's just so many, like, subgenres of movies that
Well,
we used to
eh,
get released,
it's like
and we don't get them.
we're gonna get, like, one of them because, like, yeah, like, their studio comedy, which was Naked Gun, but, like, what's the other studio comedy for 2025 that people are gonna remember so much? Like, that Seth Rogen movie bombed at the fucking stake. I still haven't seen it either.
Oh, that's the one with Aziz
You haven't
Ansari.
seen
That's
it.
the Aziz Ansari movie, not even the, what is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Good Place or whatever? Good Time, whatever it was called?
Good Fortune or something with Keanu
Good
Reeves,
Fortune, I think
which
it was, yeah.
yeah. But again, yeah, it's just like we don't have as much variety. Whereas like, you get a million teen movies in the '90s or the '80s, and nowadays it's like you'll get like maybe one or two to like hit
And they're
theaters,
all
and like that'll be it.
dropped on they're all dropped on streaming, and you unless you're, like, in the know about it, you don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
Y
Whereas back then it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the running man. He's gonna be running. You're like, sold. Just give me it. It's based on a Stephen King book. Fuck it. Yeah, like let's not do anything the book is based on. Let's just get like the bare bones
Well,
of
that
the book
was
itself.
the 90s were the huge part of Stephen King fighting with everyone, being like, "You're not allowed to call it Stephen King's this." Like, he did it on this. He's like, "You changed it too much from the book." And I didn't even want it to be Stephen King. That was a Bachman book. He sued The Lawnmower Man, the movie, because it was called
It was
Stephen King.
nothing. It was
Nothing
nothing
like
like the
it.
book.
I actually
Well,
like that movie, but yeah,
the
nothing.
Shining broke his
So
brain, huh? Like, the fact
yeah,
that
yeah.
like, it's one of the very few rare instances of the book being better than the movie.
Yeah. Well, no,
Or
reverse
the
that.
movie I'd reverse it, the movie being better than the book,
I think
Mhm.
there's
and
2 others, Jaws and Matilda.
That's fair.
interesting.
Yeah, that's fair. So Tim, do you know the whole Richard Bachman thing of Stephen King?
I do, yeah, so that was when Stephen King was self-admittedly on a whole bunch of cocaine. He was writing
Bender.
in the '80s. He was drinking a ton, and he was drinking, doing cocaine, and writing books. He was writing so much that
Yeah.
he was trying to publish like 3 or 4 books a year, and the publishers are like, "Steven, like, you're going to reduce the brand name if you just keep publishing under your name." So that's where the pseudonym Richard Bachman came from. It was a pen name for him to just continue writing and publishing books, and obviously when it came out initially, we didn't know that distinction, but now it has been confirmed and well known. Um there. So this is a Richard Bachman novel. I'm not enough of a King student to be able to tell you if there's a distinction between Richard Bachman novels and Stephen King novels.
Well, and some other Richard Bachman novels, for example, are Rage, The Long Walk, which just
Long
came out the
Walk.
movie. Which is funny that we have two Richard Bachman movies coming out within
Yeah,
2 months of
same
each
time.
other.
And
Weird.
Yeah.
Welcome to Derry, the TV show, is on HBO right now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Stephen King is he's making himself some money this year, huh?
Was
Yeah, yeah.
Thinner a Richard Bachman book?
Thinner
Thinner?
was a Richard Bachman book. That was
Yes,
the
I read that one.
yeah.
But he
Isn't Thinner
he
the one?
published 21 books under the Richard Bachman name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually, I don't think it was that much. According to this, it was like maybe like 8 or 9 from what I'm seeing on like Wikipedia.
Yeah, the, Thinner, that was the one where this guy gets, cursed by these 3 kinda sleazebags get cursed by a gypsy. It's pretty good,
Yeah,
and
isn't it like he's a fat fuck and like all of a sudden
yeah!
he starts losing weight like crazy and like no matter
Boom,
what.
looks real sexy, and then it's like he can't stop losing
Yeah.
like, it's just no matter what, he's
He
wasting away, and, like, I
yeah.
recall in the book, he puts the curse into a pie, and then, like, was like, "Oh, good, I'm free of it," and then, like, the ending is he walks in, and, like, the whole family's like, "This is great strawberry pie," and he's like, "Oh, no."
I cursed everyone. I
Yes,
know that
yes.
I know they made a movie out of it in the '90s. I don't think
I
it's that
saw it.
good.
I saw it.
But
It was okay. Carrie
yeah.
Wooer was in it. She was, kinda big in, like, the MTV kind of VJ TV scene, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember renting it from the video store I worked in purely because she was in it. Not
It's amazing.
disappointed. 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Movie, meh, but, like,
Her
good-looking actress playing a gypsy, I'm in. Esmeralda
yeah,
Hadley
yeah.
from Hunchback, you know?
Exactly. No, but it is funny that like pretty much the bones of this. So the like Edgar Wright movie is going to be more based on the book, where the book premise for the Rain Man is essentially a guy enters this contest called the Rain Man, and it's he has 30 days to live, and everyone in the world is trying to take him out and like handle him, and if he gets taken out, then he dies obviously, but if he makes it a whole 30 days, then he wins like $1 billion, like a
Yeah.
bajillion dollars or something like that. Whereas this one's just like American Gladiators. It's like, let's just strip this down. We don't have the budget for the whole everyone's hunting them thing. Let's just make it WWE on crack. Let's just have Jesse the Body Ventura just doing the most ridiculous performance ever. It's incredible.
He's awesome, and for the record, we do have 2 governors in this movie, which
Yeah.
is really awesome. But,
Yeah.
yeah, this is just a re it's the original Bachman book is the same idea as the original short story, The Most Dangerous Game. It's like the hardest, and it plays in with Predator like we're talking about, the whole thing. It's hunting humans is the hardest thing to do, and it's like the original Bachman book was kind of that same idea, like, survive against the world. Now it's like the Most Dangerous Game as a reality TV show. They even got the Family Feud guy. It was perfect.
Oh,
Well,
it's great casting. That it's Richard Dawson, the guy who was the host of Family Feud in the '80s. Like, what a fucking casting choice! And it makes you disappointed that Coleman Domingo is playing the part. He's a great actor. I'm sure he'll be fun. But wouldn't it have been great if like Steve Harvey was in the new Running Man?
Steve Harvey is like too self-aggrandizing to parody himself that way. You know what I mean? Where he'd be like, I wouldn't be surprised if they reached out to him and one, they probably, like, I feel like he's a money guy. So, like, if they did
Mm.
ultimately hit his number, he would be like, okay, I'll do it. But I also have that feeling that Steve Harvey would be like, now, I'm just the disrespect to think that I would host something like this low, like to think that Steve Harvey, it's like, it's a joke, man. It's a joke.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
are the Family Feud guy. It was the Family Feud guy in the original. You
well,
just want to continue it.
that's why Dawson was so freaking incredible at it, because he saw behind the scenes, and he said he based his character on many producers that he knew, like Light the Cigar. I don't care, like, that's why
Mm.
he nailed it. I don't think there's a number in the world Steve Harvey gets in there and just shows, like,
This
the
shows the
underbelly.
underbelly.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
Steve Harvey, I don't think would be a good actor. I mean, has he
No,
been much of an actor? But maybe Drew
He's a
Carey would be
comedian.
better.
I don't know.
he's a
Like
stand-up. He's
these
great stand-up.
these
But
performers have it in them. Like they can
but
turn it
imagine
on. If
like
they get cast in, you're a talk show host, Steve. Go. He can
yeah,
do that.
if you had Drew Carey in it too. Drew Carey's a
That would
better
be
actor.
incredible.
Amazing. It'd be hilarious.
It would
So,
be
but
so
anyways,
good.
before we go
Seeing
dive in
Drew be
more,
mean.
yeah, before we dive in more into the Rain Man, let's talk about some movies we watched first. So, I guess I'll start. Predator Badlands came out this weekend, which Diane also saw. He'll dive on that a little bit more. But I want to talk about Predator 2, which I rewatched in anticipation, which This movie, The Rain Man, is the cocaine in the movie, and Predator 2 is also cocaine in the movie on, like, steroids, where this movie is, let's take the Predator from the jungle that was in the first one of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold's not coming back, but instead, we're gonna have Danny Glover replace Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's gonna be in the war-torn streets of Los Angeles for some reason. Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking do it. So
That
anyways, but it's just like, I love that this movie Predator 2 takes place with, like, it opens up, it's 1997, this movie came out in '92. LA is a war-torn battlefield. Drug cartels are just bombing the streets and everything like that. Who's gonna save the day? Not Arnold Schwarzenegger, the guy you thought. It's gonna be Danny Glover. Fucking, Murtaugh himself, or is he Murtaugh or Riggs? He
Murtaugh,
he was Murtaugh, yeah,
and
Murtaugh
it's a
himself.
soft ah, Murtaugh.
Mert
Yeah,
and he's getting too
Murtaugh.
old. He's getting too old for this.
You
Well,
damn
exactly.
right.
It's like you see the same thing, but like somehow it works. Bill Paxton's in this movie too, and it's really funny comparing this movie to Aliens, which we covered last week for Predator Badlands. And Aliens is so brilliant and like amazing sequel. This one's just like, fuck it, just the Predator's gonna be in a subway taking out everyone. It's just like a RoboCop light movie, but like without the satire being fully there. But I love it. It's so dumb. It's so amazing. You have Gary Busey in this movie talking about lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! He's trying to fight the Predator too. It's just like, fuck it. What's the cocaine budget of this movie? Just add it. Gary Busey's there. We do it. Joel Silver's producing more cocaine. There's not enough.
Slopes are open, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Slopes are open. Dowling, what about you?
Well, I had a lovely time on, what was it? Excuse me. Tuesday night, went and saw Predator Badlands with my middle daughter and my youngest daughter. They're like 13 and 10, almost 11. Ah, I think Disney hit it out of the park with this one. I know a lot of people are pissed, but they realized the most wonderful thing. If you kill robots violently, it doesn't matter, and it's still PG-13.
Yeah.
That is the perfect crux of this movie. I thought there were really funny parts. I
Mhm.
thought it was visually stunning. The scenery was gorgeous. They let it breathe so well. And like, one of my younger kids, like it's all subtitles, didn't matter. They were watching it, full attention. Um, like it was no spoilers or anything, but it was really nice, and
Yeah.
everyone enjoyed it. It was a nice little moral tale. Everyone thought the Predator was the good guy from the beginning. Neither of my children have seen any other Predator movie, so they're like, "Oh,
Is
cool."
that still a few years
It
away?
was it was such it was so funny because, like, I
Yeah,
know Predator from the original Predator, and they're like, "Oh, look at this odd fellow going on a hunt.
it's
Interesting
amazing.
culture." And it's so funny, like, seeing it through their eyes the first time, you know?
Yeah.
I
So
thought it was
Dolly
awesome.
so Dolly, when's like the Predator watch with your kids gonna be? Is it like, okay,
Oh,
now you guys wanna watch the real
no, no,
thing?
no, no, no. They totally can whenever they want, like,
Yeah, yeah,
Fiona, my middle daughter, the one of the ones who went, her favorite movie's Terminator, not
yeah.
Terminator 2.
Okay.
Terminator is her favorite
Alright.
movie of all time. She
Hell
can
yeah.
hang. Her favorite movie when she was 6 was Coraline. That scares me now, as you know, Tommy.
Yeah. So Dolly and I saw Coraline in theaters, like, a re-release, like, a year or 2 ago, and he looks at me, like, midway through the screening, and he said, "I don't know why I went here. I'm terrified right now."
I was like, "Why'd I say yes to this?
Yeah, like, "This is
I
awful. I
don't
hate
like
you."
you, Tommy."
I remember you literally being like, "I hate you, Tommy. Like, why am I here?" You were, like, freaking out over Coraline of all movies, which is a little spooky, but not that much.
So
But,
this was just the Evil Dead 2013 episode of the podcast, where it's just like, I hate you, Tommy. Why did you make me watch this?
"Why'd you make
yeah.
me watch this?"
Exactly. Well, to wrap it up on Predator Badlands, though, I thought that the movie was like really fun. I saw it too.
Yeah, it's great.
I did like how the movie like didn't have like any groan-worthy callbacks. Where like last year when Alien Romulus came out, they had a moment where one of the characters says, "Get away from her, you bitch," and it's like
No.
Sigourney Weaver said that. We don't need to hear another character say that in the context of this movie. And this new Predator movie did not have a moment like that. That was like, oh god, like there's no one saying "get to the chopper" or anything like that,
Yeah.
or like which could easily, or like you could have easily had a character be like see the Predator bleed and then like say if it bleeds, it could die, or we could
Yeah.
kill it.
But it's so funny that I didn't hate that in Running Man when he's like, "I'll be back." I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, it's that is so funny for Rain Man because it's like, at that point, I guess it already was a catchphrase for Arnold,
Oh,
and he's just like,
100% was.
and I don't know if he ever said it in another non-Terminator movie outside
He
of this,
he
where
did in Last Action Hero when he's like,
oh,
"I'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
back." He's like, "Huh?" And he's like, "You always say that. Like, that's what you
Oh,
say."
yeah, 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 yeah. But even at that point, it was, like, towards parody, where this one is just, like, amazing. I love Richard Dawson's, like, little, like, retort to that, where it's like, "Only in reruns. Only in
Now,
reruns."
I didn't go check this online. I only watched the movie once. But you know when there's the skulls of the prey in the beginning of Predator Badlands? Is
Yeah,
one of those the aliens from Independence Day?
it could be. It wouldn't
I
shock
didn't
me.
I didn't look it up or anything. It was a quick glance, and I was wondering if that would have been cool.
Yeah, it would've been awesome. It's just like how Predator 2 back in the day had an alien skull on the ship at the end of
Yeah,
the movie,
just
and everyone's like, "Oh,
yeah,
shit."
nothing huge, just like a little touch is nice. Like
Yeah,
your Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, you see like the carved like R2D2. Nothing big, just a little like, did you see that? You know, I
yeah.
love stuff like that.
But at the end of the day, go see Predator Badlands. I mean, Dan Trachtenberg, he made Prey, a couple years ago. That movie rocks. This movie rocks too. Elle Fanning's really fun in Predator Badlands as, like, the Weyland-Yutani android. It's like a smart way of connecting to the Alien franchise without being like, "Oh, remember Alien? Remember this? Remember the facehugger? Remember how
Yeah,
the chest burster happens?" No, none of that. It's just like, Weyland-Yutani's here, there's some androids, it's in the same universe, whatever. Just
it was
that's all
cool.
we need. Yeah.
And it had a nice enemy mine feel to it, you know, the Louis Gossett Jr., Dennis Quaid one where it was like 2 opposing people on a, like, harsh planet, like,
Yeah.
just them alone. It had that nice, like, they're both sitting around the campfire feel for a little bit, banter. It was nice. It was very well done.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't get to go to the theaters this weekend. I didn't get to watch a lot of movies at all because I was in Chicago this past weekend. I was traveling and was there for the Bears Giants game. And I don't know if you know this, Tommy, but it gets cold up in Chicago.
Yeah.
We were going to the
Soldier
Bears
Field.
Giants game, Soldier Field. Um, so to bundle up for the game, I went to oldglory.com and I got myself a Giants sweatshirt. It was shipped quick and easy, and I did that intentionally because I forgot to order stuff in time for the game. Old Glory is the perfect place to shop for iconic music and sports fan gifts. There are over 300,000 officially licensed items covering music, sports, entertainment, and pop culture. You can get free shipping on your orders and a special deal of 15% off when you use the code SCENEIT, one word. That's oldglory.com, promo code SCENEIT. But speaking of Chicago, when we were back in the hotel room and going through the old channel, you know, when you're kind of stuck in the hotel loop of what they have available to you.
Right.
Sci-Fi was running a marathon of Harry Potter movies, so I got to jump in and out of various Harry Potter movies. The one I wanted to talk about specifically is The Goblet of Fire, the fourth Harry Potter installment.
Best one, in my
Oh, it's
opinion, of the
best
Still haven't seen
movies.
it.
best best book in my opinion. I
Mm,
I
I have
was
to disagree with you there, but
I
it's in
was
my top
I
3.
I w I w didn't that movie stinks.
Oh, no. I think it's the
Which
best
one?
of the movies,
No.
by
Which
No.
far.
movie?
No,
By far, Goblet of Fire
Prisoner of Azkaban is by
is
far the
the
best Harry
worst
Potter.
one. It's not
Wow.
close.
That
I
By
mean,
is
far the
that
worst
is wait,
one.
this is a hot wait, we are on hot take alert here.
Yes,
I
they
need you
I'll be back for
completely
the Harry Potter talk, I'm
oh,
out.
oh my god. Don't do this to me if
do
you
it.
don't
I
start
need
it.
this take.
Okay, here. They completely destroyed any idea of Patronuses. The whole thing was garbage. It looked like a white shield of nothingness. They they did a great job casting Remus Lupin. I'll give you that. I like Columbus, but
This
it's
wasn't Columbus. This was
sorry,
Alfonso Cuarón.
Fezzo Corano. Sorry, that's my second to worst. 5's the worst. 3 is the second to worst.
So, in my opinion, 4 felt really cheap. The movie, like the production design of it felt really cheap. They used a lot of Dutch angles, which just annoy me. I don't
What's
enjoy
a Dutch angle?
the Dutch angle is when the camera is angled, but the screen is still straight, so it's just
Oh, it gives
like
you
it gives you this
yeah,
illusion of, like, the characters being tilted, and there was
yes.
a lot of them. Um, Specifically the Quidditch World Cup scene, which I, like, loved in terms of, like, world book building and the book and stuff, like,
Oh,
I thought that was great. It's done within 5 seconds, and
you
then
had to.
I understand
You
these
would the
movies
only
need
way you can make it work like the book was if you did a Lord of the Rings style treatment, and even then, I don't think it would be enough. I'm not watching the miniseries because
we
I love
I
the books.
I
I
don't
don't
It's
need to
just a
re-see
cash
it.
cow. It's a cash
Yeah,
grab.
I
It's a
don't need
cash
to re-see it.
listen, it's a bad idea. I think
Yes,
everybody
but
and it's too soon since the movies have ended to just dive back into
I
it, you know what I
agree.
mean?
I agree.
It's way
Eh,
too soon of a
you
time
gotta
to
let
do
it
it.
breathe for a generation minimum.
Mhm.
Minimum.
Yeah.
So, but the
But
thing is,
I
you need more time to do 4 completely.
so your thing with 3 is, like, lore stuff, which
Yes, it's all
doesn't
lore. I don't care about
I
the
don't
pictures.
I don't see, for me, I don't
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Who
give a
cares
shit
about
about
lore?
I don't
Like,
care. I
yeah,
don't care. That movie is so good, and when you follow it up with Goblet of Fire, which is really, like,
well,
rushed and cheaply made, and I'm not even like, all the
it
movies kind of are a little bit rushed, and they kinda have to be. The books are very long, it covers a full year.
yes.
It needs to like, there needs to be pace to these things to keep it going, like, we can't spend 30 minutes on
No,
Harry
I
struggling
hey,
with some class, who gives a shit?
I
But
understand. It's what's your favorite medium of it? For
yeah,
me, it's not close. Like, the books are absolutely beloved and cherished to me. Like, I've read them multiple, multiple times. I've read them to all my kids, like, all of them, like, on my lap. Like, I do the voices. So for me, I'm not going into it looking at it and being like, "Oh, that's a good camera shot." I'm like, "Does it make me feel the way it felt when I read it the first time?"
see, and the Goblet of Fire has never made it feel that way for me, and I feel like the one that makes it feel the most like the books, I would argue, is 1. Like,
I agree.
that's the like, that movie is so full of whimsy and charm,
Oh,
and they did
I
The
did you ever see
extended
it, Tommy?
version's great,
I can't
where
stand
they
it.
showed the eggs.
Have you ever seen
Anytime
the movie?
I've watched the first Harry Potter movie. I watched the second Harry Potter movie. I watched the fifth Harry Potter movie. I hate them every single fucking one.
Oh,
I just
we're
just
doing 3 for
we'll
Christmas
we'll
this
we'll
year.
do we'll do three. We'll do three. I guess we'll get into that.
Please
But
let me
like,
be on it.
I've never enjoyed a
Please.
Harry Potter movie I watched. So
You gotta
there's
read
some
the
other
books.
there's some
It's
other
so weird
stories.
because it's of your generation, it's of your time, it's very strange that you have
I
no
always
affinity to Harry Potter.
It's
I just
wild.
don't like high.
First one came out, I was, like, a junior in high school.
I was
I
in
didn't touch it
kindergarten.
all. I didn't touch it all. I was
I
in
was a
college
hater.
freshman year.
No, but,
Like, my
I
parents' generation, when they were, like, college age, that's when Lord of the Rings came out. Like, Harry Potter came out right around when I was, like, 16, 17, and I
Mm.
didn't really start reading them religiously till I was in college.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I don't know. It just never connected with me. It just like I watched the first two like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was just like, this is the most boring like shit I've ever watched.
how? It's just like the first one is like
I don't know. I just not connected. There's
the
something that like
the first one is like classic hero's journey, you know what I mean? It's like it is to
I
a
don't know.
T it is to a
To a
T.
T.
I don't know
To a
how you
T.
can, like, dislike it other
It
than
it's Star
maybe
Wars with magic.
Tommy hates British people, and
That's it.
you know
Well,
what? Like, maybe
Shaun the Dead's my favorite movie. So there.
Checkmate,
are you saying
racist.
that you
Bitch.
don't hate the English, or are you saying that you do hate the English?
I don't.
You just hate when English people do well in literature. Okay, I got it, Tommy.
Yeah,
No worries there. No
totally.
No,
worries, but yeah,
it's the classic farm boy who, suddenly has the weight of the world thrust upon his
well,
shoulders, finds he wears the mental well.
cutting this off because I know Dallin can
Done.
go on for 5 more hours.
Hours.
So we will cover Prisoner of Azkaban to torture time. I feel here's my other thing too.
Tim needs payback.
No,
Tommy, I will
it's
watch
not
The
payback.
Thing
I
tomorrow.
just
You have to
there
watch it.
there
Checkmate.
hasn't been
I've
a
been waiting
time where
3
we've
years.
really covered a movie that you've gone into it just being like, "Ugh," And then
No,
you
That's not
just
true.
which one?
I knew I was gonna hate Barry Lyndon when we covered Barry Lyndon.
Fair enough.
Um,
I like
yeah,
when Hater Tommy comes out because, like, I have
it's
to be the
it's a
hater because
fun
you just
Tommy.
gloss everything, and I have
Tommy's
to be like,
nice.
"Well, wait a minute, I like it, but"
yeah, you're gonna hear me like praise this movie we're about to cover.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
No,
so
Tommy starts at 4 stars.
yeah, he does. He's got a
He
high
really
rating
does.
scale, but he loves movies, so I can't even hate him for
Yes.
that. Um, and a movie he's about to love, this is The Running Man.
America's #1 action hit is hitting the holidays. Arnold is at his best. Fans start running, says Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. Showtime. The best Schwarzenegger movie since The Terminator, says Michael Wilmington, LA Times. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Running Man. I'll be back. The Running Man. Rated R, now playing.
Running Man, a 1987 American dystopian action film directed by Paul Michael Glazer, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maria Conchita Alonso, Richard Dawson, Yaphet Kotto, and Jesse Ventura. The film is set in a dystopian United States between 2017 and 2019. They were off by 1 year. Man.
Yeah.
Um, featuring a television show where convicted criminals, quote unquote, runners, must escape death by the hand of professional killers. It is based on the 1982 novel written by Stephen King and published under the pseudonym Richard Bachman. The Running Man grossed $38 million on its $27 million budget in the United States, opening to mixed reviews from critics. So, Tommy, what do you think the critics hated about this movie?
Well, this is a fun, dumb action movie. I mean, that's what it comes down to more than anything. I think that there's something about this movie that like I could see its flaws. Paul Michael Glazer. First of all, do you know what he's most famous for? It's not for directing.
Uh, Enlighten me.
Okay, he was Detective Dave Starsky in the show
Starsky and
Starsky and Hutch in the
Oh,
70s. So he was like a TV actor that like falling into directing. He directed a few movies. I think his most famous movie after this was the Shaq movie Shazam or Kazam
ooh,
rather. Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah, so he wasn't exactly the best director. There's something about this movie where like it's funny, it's a great time. I have a blast every time I watch it, but it definitely feels like we have Paul Verhoeven at home. Where like it's
Yeah.
almost
Yeah,
it's
yes.
like
Good
this
line.
rewatch when I was watching it, like the whole entire time I was thinking, I was like, if you had Paul Verhoeven or if you had like a Joe Dante directing this movie, it would have been that S tier Arnold movie. But because Paul Michael Glazer who directed it, and he didn't do a terrible job, but he just did not bring out the satire in the way I feel like it could have definitely been maximized with those other two directors or a similar director. But he just like somehow just kept it back a little bit, where it ended up being a fun, entertaining movie, but not the social commentary that could have been added more and more to it. They just let that go.
Yeah, and that feels like it's really stripped, especially when you compare it to RoboCop, which came out the exact same year, which is a complete
Yeah.
political satire, and then you compare it to this, and you go, like this is begging to be a satire, and like there's only like one instance of like corporatization, it's like of like the Coca-Cola can ads, like it's crazy to me that this
Well,
movie
yeah.
didn't like lean into the
Well,
corporate edge of
Well,
things.
there's one point in the movie where like Richard Dawson literally is like, "Okay, we're gonna cut to commercial." And if that was a Paul Verhoeven movie, we'd have seen some insane fucking shit like we did in RoboCop when it's like the TX, the like Velociraptor cartoon thing in RoboCop. But instead, we didn't get anything like that. Just immediately cut. Or
oh,
that
best
exactly,
best line ever. But you
exactly.
know what?
Where's that?
You know what's funny, man? I'm telling you, it's the thing it's weird that it didn't lean all the way in, but it's almost like prophetic. Like, you know,
In some ways, yeah.
it hits like reality TV so much. Like, here,
Yeah,
do this dumb junk and we'll give you life-changing
and
money.
and I want to say on the idea of reality TV, there's levels to like it's all junk, but there's like levels to the junkiness.
Yeah.
Like I view something like like the reality game shows I view, like, they're probably, at least in my opinion, like, the highest tier. Like, there's at least something
Now,
to
Jeopardy, baby.
well,
Jeopardy's one.
Jeopardy's not
That's a
Jeopardy's
game
a
show.
straight game show. I'm talking
Okay.
about, like, a Survivor where it's like
Okay, got it.
they fought like,
Reality,
there's a
quote, quote.
complete distinction
No, but,
to
it's their people.
Jeopardy
They're
gives the
themselves.
contestants, like, 2 sentences to explain themselves, and then we just call them nerds, and then they
No,
make some money.
but that's
Yeah, yeah.
that's the lowest threat. The highest threat is if you
Well,
lose, you
But
die.
I think of, like,
well, it's more than
I
anything.
see of TLC junk, I think of,
Oh, yeah.
it's like Octomom, and then it's like and then
Oh,
there's, like, Pregnant
they
at
got
16,
well,
and
they
there's, like,
got
all
some
this, like,
dude,
there's just this low level
garbage.
garbage.
Well,
It is just
dude,
like, let's
when
capture the
Oh,
worst parts of humanity and
oh,
just, like,
the
broadcast it
worst
out, and
I've
that's what
ever
this is.
seen, and I was alive when it happened. When I was in college, there was a reality TV show called The Swan, where they let
oh,
ugly women come
I
into
heard
this
about
house
this.
with no
Yeah, I remember
with
this.
no mirrors. I used to watch it with the football players. It was funny as hell.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, it was very cruel. It was very cruel to just sit there and be like, "Look at that."
I
Like,
Yeah. Well,
I've
it's
always
awful,
I've
awful.
always had
But
this
here's what people are attracted to. They're attracted to mastery, rarity, and savagery.
yeah.
Any one of those things, people are gonna go, "Oh, oh," like, is it savage? Is it primal? People are gonna watch. Like,
Well,
people
that's
watch
one thing this
hangings
movie
and
hits on.
guillotines forever. If it's rare, people are like, "Oh, what's that?" It's like, "Oh, that's the Mona Lisa, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
mastery. It's like, I don't give a crap about the violin, but if the best violin player in the world started playing near me, I'm sure I'd stop and be like, "Oh my god." You know?
yeah.
It's like, what
Exactly.
draws people's attention?
Mm,
Well, well,
can I just say one thing? Because I just had this nugget in my brain. I've had
Hit
this
me.
yeah, yeah.
in my
Go for it. Go
brain
for it.
for forever here. I've always when I was doing my dirty watch, like, years ago, and they always parodied shows, like, they have, like, MILF Island and stuff, like,
Oh,
they would, like,
yeah.
parody things. I always thought a show that would be very funny to be on there as, like, a parody of these kinda shows is a show called, like, Adopted at 16, and it's just someone going like, it's just a cut of it, and it's just someone going, "You're not my real dad," and then it just, like, cuts, like, that's literally just the joke, but I've always thought, I'm like, "How have they not made that a show? Because
That's a good
that's
bit.
such a TLC garbage show, like, lowest of the low, like,
Yeah, well,
disgusting
wife
show
Well,
that
swap?
would
Like, there's
so
some bad ones, man.
with
I've had that nugget
yeah,
for
yeah.
years and never
You're not
gotten
my
to say it.
dad.
So
I had to let it out.
now the right man, you can let it out. So if there's one thing about this movie though that hits in terms of satire, it's definitely like the fact of the game show and how the contestants are so or not the contestants, the audience is so into this.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I love that Richard Dawson's interviewing people and he's asking like the old grandma being like, "So who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think's gonna get the next kill?" And it's just like so normalized where they're not even like realizing how horrifying it is. They're just immediately like, "Oh, I think that like maybe this time Schwarzenegger's gonna win." And it's like, "Whoa, that's a controversial pick right there." And how the stalkers are celebrities, how like every stalker just has his own like fan base to it. It's probably the only like game show they have in this
Well,
universe.
it's the mix. That's where the wrestling inspiration comes in with the
Yeah.
But
production
but
design there.
don't tell me you don't cheer for the Green Knight at medieval times if you're in that section, Tommy. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's been there forever, and no
I'm
one
not saying
cares
I'm not saying that'd
when
be better.
yeah, no one cares once you leave, but when you're in the crowd and everyone's cheering, I bet you're gonna cheer.
Did you just take a shot?
This is my second shot I took on camera.
Nice.
So
Okay, pop
Okay.
quiz after Tommy just takes the shot. Let's see if you know this. Tommy, who is definitively the greatest athlete in this movie?
Jim Brown.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Very good.
impressed. Well done.
I
I'm
I
very
do
glad.
because the Gladiator cast, especially like of the Stalkers. First off, you have Jesse the Body Ventura, who I think is making an incredible comedic performance throughout this
Unbelievable.
movie. Like,
Navy SEAL, governor, pro wrestler, like,
yeah,
you
right
know,
there. I
he's
think that in this movie, the best it gets towards satire is like when Arnold goes into what's her name's house and he sees the Jesse Ventura commercial, whereas like he's doing the yoga studio thing, and Jesse Ventura pops up He's, like, sliding down dancing and just flexing and popping. It's the most hilarious thing I've seen. He's just so in
Amazing.
on the joke too. He's just, like, has such a great little, like, comedic energy throughout where every time I'm like,
Dude,
"What is Jesse Ventura doing? Sign me up."
he's a heel in a pro he was a heel pro wrestler forever.
Yeah.
Like, he is
This is his
perfect
breakout
at
year too.
making you care. It's
Mm,
like, you're gonna love him, you're gonna hate him, but you know what? You're gonna have a feeling about him no
yeah.
matter what.
So for Jesse Ventura specifically, this was really a breakout year because Predator was his first movie ever, and that came out like what, like 5 or 6 months before this. And you have Predator, and then you have the Rain Man, and it's really disappointing that in terms of like acting specifically, he never really became like a tier Arnold or
Well,
like even like a Hulk Hogan type, where like he definitely had the comedic chops. He definitely could have been it. He definitely had a sense of humor to him, but like by the time you get into like 91 or 93 rather, a few years later, he's in Demolition Man, and Demolition Man done. If my memory serves correct, he does not have a single line in Demolition Man. He's just a nameless goon.
I will tell you this, I have a good memory. I've only watched Demolition Man 1, once, and I can't pull that off the top of my head. I'm
You
not
can't pull
sure.
Jesse Ventura.
I can't. I could
No,
tell you that.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it would be a
Yeah.
movie where like
N
I saw that Jesse Ventura was in Demolition Man when I watched it for the first
Yeah,
time earlier
I
this year,
can't I can't
and
pull it. Mm.
and I was so disappointed to see like, oh, like he doesn't even like speak. He's just like
Well,
a random muscle goon in this movie, in a
you
movie of Stallone, in a dumb action movie of Stallone. Like, what's going on here?
I hate to speak bad of the dead, but I will say one of Hulk Hogan's lowest moments
Yep.
was Jesse the Body Ventura was trying to start a union between wrestlers and kind of normalize the payout under Vince McMahon's WWF, the World Wrestling Federation at the time. And Hulk Hogan went in and go, Jesse's talking about a union, and literally told him. And I'm sure that affected his life
Oh yeah.
exorbitantly.
I mean, Jesse even said like even recently before Hulk died, where he said like it doesn't shock me that Hulk was at the RNC because he cut my legs underneath me when I was trying to start a union. And it's like, yep. So we're not going to dive
Well,
into all that,
It
but
was
if
it
you
was a
watch
good watch.
the Mr. McMahon,
I was just gonna say it was good doc.
it was a good doc, and it was like Hulk was the guy. Like Jesse
He's the
Ventura
man.
was big, but he was the
He was
Hulk
not the man.
was the face of the WWF, and definitely got the he got the benefits of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So why he would not he was more of a Vince lapdog than
He
he was for
accepted the
everybody else.
torch from Andre.
Hmm.
When he body slammed Andre, he became the guy. And then you had, you know, Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, then you had Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, so on and so forth. If you're the guy in the
And then John Cena.
WWF, yeah, and John Cena, if you're the guy, you get the stuff. If you're not the guy, no one,
yeah.
you know.
And, and,
So
and it's disappointing. I mean, granted, Jesse Ventura had a great career. He was a governor. So, I mean,
Yeah,
like, yeah, I think he's happy with how his life turned out. But now he's like one of those guys that just like, he's a truther about everything. He's a conspiracy guy. He hosts a conspiracy theory podcast. He's just like talk about insane shit all the time. Where it's just like amazing hearing him pop up here and there.
I'm sure
So
he's hurt and a
But can
little
I
skittish.
also say one of the things in this movie to bring us back, because
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
this is as
sorry.
long of a segment we've ever had on wrestling
Yeah.
on this podcast, and it's the longest segment we will ever have about wrestling on this podcast, unless we cover a wrestling movie. But
I
we did
got
not
some
cover a wrestling.
suggestions. Vision Quest, Matthew Modine.
It's filed. But I like the way that they, in the satire things, like it was like it was played very straight, but like the way they manipulated the media and the way that was portrayed in this, which like
That's precedent. That's deep fake
it's and
technology.
It's how it works now.
it's definitely yeah, it's how it works now, where it's like let's like cutting things, and then like I was even thinking like the final fight with the freedom fighter that
Just yeah.
broadcast, and they used like predating what AI is now.
Yeah,
to
Lily.
come.
That's why it's hard to make it zany like a RoboCop, because they were too right on too many things.
That's the weird thing with this movie. They were right on a lot of things, like
Yeah.
the whole
Well,
thing for Ben, for Schwarzenegger's character, is that he's wrongfully imprisoned and escapes, and then he gets entangled with Maria Alonso's character, Amber, and she like rats him out or whatever. But she like does some snooping and finds because she saw the thing on there where it's like he killed 3 people at the airport, and she was like, "That's not what happened. I was there. He didn't kill anybody." And then she like goes and finds like the raw footage and
Yeah.
the real, what they actually put up, and it's like, "Oh,
mm,
this happens."
Yeah.
It probably was happening then, to be honest. Like
It
I don't put it
I'm
past these
sure
people.
it was.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing is, when people were carving stone tablets, people were chipping it to make it look like a different letter forever. It
Mm.
just the technology changes.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
but
exactly. It's always the snipping and cutting, but it's definitely a thing that where like nowadays you have like things where like politicians are sharing AI videos of like things that people aren't even saying and manipulating policy. And it's a weird way where like sometimes when you watch a movie from the 80s, like let's Blade Runner, which came out like what, 5 years before this.
Yeah.
Blade Runner takes place in 2017, if I'm correct.
also,
And
yeah.
yeah, you
Big
get into
movie.
2017, and like, at that point, it's like our world is nothing like Runner. Like, can you imagine if we
Well,
had replicants running around right now?
yeah.
Even Back to the Future 2. Back to the Future 2 told me that I was gonna have a hoverboard and flying cars in 2015. Where the hell is my flying cars? Robert Zemeckis, give me the flying car.
They were off by 1 year on the Cubs, though. They
Yeah.
were off by
Yeah,
1 year on the Cubs,
That
which
was impressive.
you
But
gotta give them some credit there. I really thought the Mets were gonna do it that
would
year, but
I
I
would
digress.
they didn't have the internet in Back to the Future 2, and I would trade the internet for every single thing that they had in
Oh,
there,
yeah. Oh, get
oh
rid of it.
yeah. Can you
you
imagine?
know?
Just like instead of the internet, you
Th
just like,
we're
oh,
not
like flying
doing
cars.
this.
But
We're
but
not
let
doing
me
this, but we could fly to each other's houses.
but let
Like,
me tell you
but
this.
cyberpunk was all the dystopian. That's where the darkness in Blade Runner and all those come from. It's supposed to be grimy and high tech. It's
Yeah.
low life plus technology.
I think in some ways we lucked out because, like, can you imagine like flying cars? Like, I mean, not to be too dark on the pod, but like we have like drunk driving being a problem like today. Can you imagine how many fucks would be like drunk driving in a goddamn flying car? It'd be the worst.
I don't trust people to walk. Trust me. I've seen youngins. Everyone should wear a helmet.
At least a cup.
And always a cup.
At least a cup. Always a cup. But, what did you guys think of the action in this movie itself? Because it's high octane. It's kind of from the letter go, it's action, action,
Oh,
action. There's
it's
I
very little
awesome.
breathing in this movie.
You're done. You start. You start.
Okay, it was perfect. You set
Yeah.
this dude up like the Mets or Jets of his world. He's the ultimate underdog, wrongfully accused, trying to do the right thing, but everyone's against him. Put this Sisyphusian task of like, here, and we're gonna keep moving the goalpost. It's awesome. Like,
Mm.
you got the frickin' operatic Dynamo, like, the
Oh, the best
skaters,
one.
the freeze Dynamo's my favorite. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just it's so cool, and, he throws out the callback, "I'll be back," he launches him into that frickin' armadillo sucker, and it is full on go. You feel like the same as, like, once Snake Plissken gets dropped in, it's a very gladiatorial, like, the
Mm.
challenge has begun, and there's no stopping. The next round's coming up until you get to the final boss, and then there's the other final boss after the Elite Four.
I think in terms of like directing, Paul Michael Glaser did a great job of the action, and like I think the action is just kinetic. It's full on. Like we go place to place to place, and each stalker has its own little like special niche where you have first of all. We should also talk about what our favorite stalker is, because for me,
Yeah.
I think it has to be Jesse Ventura because I think he's hilarious. But I think
You
Dynamo's
can't pick Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat,
oh,
you
yeah, and then
gotta
you have you also have Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is also hilarious, where it's just like it has a great one-liner that I said in the beginning of the podcast where it's like, "He was Sub-Zero, now he's plain Zero." And it sounds like something that should have been in, like, a Batman and Robin when he was Mr. Freeze, Schwarzenegger. but instead it's like in this random movie, The Running Man.
Amazing.
Then so let's go. So we have also Sub-Zero. Then you have Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw? I have a lot to talk about real quick. Buzzsaw sounds like this feels like a guy that's constantly on cocaine throughout this movie, where his eyes are like dialed to 11, where he's just like immediately like, "Hey, what you really gonna get you there?" And right there, it's like you're expecting something to happen where he's gonna immediately snort a line right in front of Arnold, like in Predator 2 when they snort fucking lines before they take on Danny Glover. It's just like, what's going on? This guy's probably on the verge of a heart attack before he's attacking Arnold.
Frenetic for sure. Like it
Yeah.
gives you a sense of unease without a doubt. It's like this dude's twitchy.
Can I say
To be
one
fair,
thing I like
are
about
you? Yeah.
80s sci-fi is that they set it in the future, but, like, I think of something like 2001: A Space Odyssey or, like, 60s sci-fi and, like, the production behind it, and they try to make it look very different than the technology of the time. Like, it's inspired by it, but it's all futuristic.
Mm.
80s sci-fi, at least especially this, is like it's all the same technology, but
Yeah.
we'll add some wires and we'll make it look like a little weird, and it's like when they're in the prison scene and he's trying to like hack the code thing or whatever, it just looks like an 80s calculator that they're using. Like there's like no effort made to make the technology
No.
look like it's evolved past 1987.
Well, they
No,
don't want
no.
it to. That's why it's dystopian. All
Well, it's
efforts have been gone into controlling the people and doing this. Like they
No,
don't need to
I
fix
get it, but
anything.
that doesn't mean that the look of things doesn't
Like
change.
well,
why would you change it if it's
Because
working?
it's because okay, but
well, so for
we
example,
live in the most dystopian time possible right now,
No,
and
we don't.
Facebook change it like all these things change how they look all the time. Like this
yeah.
is the
Yeah, we're not
technology, the
dystopian
appearance
at
of
all.
Well,
technology
so it's one thing though
changes.
when we covered Aliens last week, and it's so funny watching a movie like Aliens, which Alien I think takes place like 200 years from now or something like that, maybe like 150, and the videos still look like the shitty VCR videos that we had back in the 80s. It's just like immediately like a still analog video, like they didn't progress past that right there.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like that's how my younger kids watch scary movies now and don't get afraid because they're like, "Oh, it's completely fake." And like they look at it like a puppet show. Like, would you get like if we went to go see the Muppets and saw a Muppet get killed when we were a kid, would we be like, "I can't sleep." Like me,
Well,
I saw the bad latex and was like, "Oh my God, that's real."
it's the crazy thing about time that like Freddy Krueger now is the same to like your kids as like probably like Dracula and the Wolfman were to you when
Oh
you're
yeah.
growing up. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's that. So, but to bring it back to me, who's your favorite stalker? We need to hear it. Take
Oh, Dynamo is the most
yeah.
electric. I really like Jim Brown as
Yay!
Fireball though. He wasn't in the movie enough though.
He had a good little like moment in it.
Yeah.
Tim, a good Jim Brown movie that I've been talking about so much on the podcast is Mars Attacks. He has a great role in it. We need to cover that movie eventually. It's coming up soon. But regardless, Jim Brown in
Another
this
Tim
movie though, he
Burton.
has yeah, another Tim Burton. Fireball is great. I just love it in terms of the deep fake things that it ties into Fireball, where like you have the beginning of the movie, Richard Dawson says that all these like prior contestants are now living it up in like Maui or Hawaii or
Right.
wherever, and then they have all these videos of them waving and stuff like that. Like, hey, what's going on? And then you cut to like
Dead.
40 minutes later in the movie, they're dead. They died.
Oh
Jim
yeah.
Brown killed them. This it's all fake. It's there's no way Schwarzenegger's gonna win. He's dead. Like
Yeah.
no one's here for
No
you.
one's here to help you.
Yeah.
Like
You can't even win, and, like, they make the point even after they kill Fireball and they get rescued by the Resistance down there, which, if I'm going to be the critical one here, because someone has to, that part is very underdeveloped, I would say, like
Okay. Well, one thing we have to touch upon that, and we haven't touched upon him yet. Mick Fleetwood is in this movie.
yes.
And Mick Fleetwood,
Classic.
the drummer of Fleetwood Mac, is in this
Yes.
movie, and it's very much implied that he is playing himself in this movie. Because in the beginning of the movie, you see Mick Fleetwood introduced to the movie, and right after they escape the prison, and then he says to Arnold Schwarzenegger, "Hey, you're that guy that burned all my music. So it's implied that in the future that Fleetwood Mac was outlawed and all their music got destroyed and burned because there's illegal stuff. And then Mick Fleetwood is the leader of the resistance. This is why this movie fucking rocks. This is why I love this movie. It's so dumb, but it's like, let's go.
The little touches, the little touches.
The little touches right there. And it's like, they don't even call it out, but they're like, yeah, like, it's Mick Fleetwood, get on. And his old age makeup looks perfect because I Googled what he looked like in 2017. Wasn't far off.
Prophetic movie. Where are they hiding the crystal ball?
But listen,
Tim,
those things, I did notice it, but I'm saying those things aside, like I felt like this like resistance thing was like in whatever they said there was like 15 drafts of the screenplay because originally this
Makes sense.
movie had a different director. It was Andrew Davis, and he was fired off of after 2 weeks because the film was already a week behind schedule. Glazer was brought on. Schwarzenegger has stated it was a terrible decision, as Glazer shot the movie like it was a television show, losing all the deeper themes, and the film's tone changed from a dark allegory to a humorous action film, and that was like a big part of the change, like kind of how we talk. Like the original version of this was going to be more closer to the book, and then they were just like, "Nah, we're not going to do that."
Yeah. Well,
Well, that was
originally,
that great
the original
video
star
game
of this
that came
movie,
out.
the original
It's
star of this, sorry.
you ever play Smash TV? It was a huge moneymaker in the 80s around there. And basically it was just a shoot 'em up in all directions where you just go in, collect prizes, and kill everyone. And that was it. And it's one of the hardest games of all time. And it was one of the biggest moneymakers. You lasted maybe a minute. And
That's
like
right.
it's literally it's the Running Man. I'm sure Nintendo were like, no, it's called Smash TV. It's different. It's the exact same thing.
It's
And they
amazing.
made 2 of them. Sorry to
I love
interrupt.
That's so great. So the original star of this movie was going to be Christopher Reeve, and that was under a completely different screenplay, and it was going to be George P. Cosmatos, who he directed Rambo: First Blood Part 2 and Cobra, and he also directed Tombstone, which was a classic for us. That was our 100th episode with you, Dallin.
Top
But
5. Top 5.
I mean, there's a point to it where like it's the weird thing where like Stephen King said when he did like a foreword for the Rain Man in like a 98 or 99, he was like, the character in the Rain Man was not supposed to be a Schwarzenegger type. It was like as far as you could take from it. And like you could see maybe Christopher Reeve being more in the vein of like, what they're doing right now with Glenn Powell. But again, like I don't know, like I feel like a movie would have been a little, even more cut down. I feel like Christopher Reeve was like almost a little too conservative with his movies, where he wasn't going to allow all this manic energy that Schwarzenegger allowed in this movie.
I'm a big, bright, shining star.
Yeah, well, I think we would be. I don't know if we'd be talking about the
Yeah,
Christopher Reeves version of this movie on the podcast. To be honest, here, I feel like I think this is a good time as any if we're gonna segue into our next section.
I am a star. I'm a star. I'm a star. I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
So, who's the star of the movie? Who gave the best performance? There's a lot of great bit performances in this, but in my opinion, it is Schwarzenegger. Like, this movie.
I disagree.
I-
But yeah, you go.
So, like, I don't think Arnold's a good actor, right? Like,
Mm.
he's a
broke his
good
heart.
actor for what he is. Like, he's got a thick Austrian accent. He doesn't
He knows his
lane.
limits.
He knows his lane, and this is
Yeah.
the epitome of an Arnold Schwarzenegger lane.
Mm.
So I really enjoyed him in this. I mean, he's just dialing quips at one quip after the other. Like Ben Richards doesn't really have a character. He's just a quip machine in this movie.
Yeah.
And it just works for this kind of movie. But for me, it's Schwarzenegger. Tommy, you seem to have a different opinion.
I think it's Richard Dawson all day.
Agreed.
Richard Dawson is a guy who should have been more of an actor. I mean, I'm sure he had a great career as a game show host. He was like Don, correct me if I'm wrong, but and Family Feud, he was the co-host or the host rather, that would always like kiss every single woman on the show, and like
Right
creepily
on the
so
lips on some
right
of them.
lips. Sometimes it'd be
Bam!
like the wife. He'd go up to the wife
He'd
and be
go
like,
right up and plant
"Mwah."
one right on
Yeah,
it. He'd be like,
yeah.
"Oh, it was to settle their nerves." Boom.
It's like, oh yeah, sure. That's how you got away with it in the '80s. You fucking
Legend
creep.
has it he made everyone take a herpes test. Not kidding.
Oh god, that's incredible.
He
The '80s.
definitely
What a
brought that
time.
into this production here, where he's just like, "What do these
Yeah, he's
slimy
like,
guys do?"
"Daughter,
But
mom,
it's
welcome up. Mwah."
it's one of those things that, like, obviously this role wasn't a stretch for him. He's a game show host. He could obviously sell it, but he just makes it so much fun. And like this movie hits like what could have been more of the Verhoeven version if it was more focused on that. But like every time it cuts to him talking to like the audience, it's so much fun. Every time it's him just like riffing off fucking Schwarzenegger, it's great. It's just like everything about him. He's a great villain, and like seeing him get his comeuppance in the most
Oh,
bombastic way is
yeah.
hilarious. And just like the way he sells it, he's like, "It's time to run." It's like, let's go. Fuck yeah.
I
So,
agree with you, Tommy.
Richard
It's
Dawson for
perfect.
both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
100%. He
but
just it shows that sliminess of like it's all a facade. You're being lied to the entire time. Roger Ebert said like his favorite performance of this whole movie was Dawson. He's like, there's something there. He's
mm,
seen the producers before. He knows what it's like, but it's that unbelievable Eddie Haskell flip on the switch energy where it's like, hey, everybody, like the Rainbow Randolph from Death to Smoochie, like,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
yay. And then you instantly, it's like, where's my freaking money? Light the cigar, bottom line. Oh, I thought he had the best. Maria Conchita Gonzalez is an unbelievable, like, supporting actress in this. I thought she was great,
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah.
Dawson, I really
When
did. I thought she did a great job.
I think she was fun. I think that she was a good little addition to it, and like that's the thing. We didn't talk about Yaphet Kotto also. Yaphet Kotto from Alien, Midnight Run, great character actor. I thought he was a little fun. I love that how like when you see him in the suit. Also, we didn't talk about this. The suits for the game show contestants are incredible. Like '80s neon, like fucking the suits. Yeah, I just love the aesthetic. It's so much fun, but it's especially hilarious going from seeing Schwarzenegger, who's like a muscle man and like jacked as hell, and seeing Yaphet Kotto, who has like the definition of a fucking dad bod, and maybe even more past the dad bod. But like you see his fucking pot belly sticking out, and it's like, all right,
Tommy, how
that's
many subscribers to dress up as the Running Man for Halloween next year?
yeah. That's a Patreon exclusive right there. Once we launch a Patreon,
Apparently, like Schwarzenegger sweat so much he almost got like heat stroke from it. Like it was apparently really, really tight.
oh yeah. I imagine they left like no room for imagination right there.
No, that thing was sticking to his skin.
I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. So when he gets to the point, and also the guy who's the nerd, he was fine. I don't really know if I've seen him in anything else.
I was
Um,
he the guy from I didn't look this up. Was he the guy from Back to the Future that was like, I think he took his wallet. I think he took that guy's wallet. Like when Biff gets knocked out and Marty is taking the Gray Sports Almanac back. I I didn't look anything up for this. I just have like scribbled notes and I just wrote with a star. I think he took his wallet. I think it's the same actor.
Also,
this
good to
guy
see
doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
Kurt Fuller was in this too. He was like one of the TV producers there, and I had to stop the movie and look up. I was like, "That's that guy." Like he's been in so many things. I was like, he was in Ghostbusters too. He was in
Love
Midnight
it.
in Paris. He's been in so many things. I was like looking at him.
Yeah,
I was like, "What do I recognize you from?" Um, yeah, his IMDb page
there's
is
so many
just
good heat checks.
yeah, good little bit
Incredible.
parts
You
for a
know,
lot of people in here.
well, like you have Frank Zappa's son as like one of the resistance leaders in this.
Who is it? Dweezil Moon Unit?
Dweez, Dweezil Zappa was like Mick Fleetwood's like right hand man, and then you have we didn't talk about him at all,
He's a good guitarist, Dweezil
but
Zappa.
Steven Thorson was like Sven as the bodyguard that was like built up throughout the movie as like the guy that was gonna take out Arnold. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, Richard Dawson, you're a dick to me. Fuck off. You can go. And immediately just like, I'm not gonna fight him. Like I think Arnold's gonna beat the shit out of
Oh,
me. So uh,
he
yeah.
was one of the producers in Wayne's World too. That's Wayne's World, the
Oh.
original too. Also, I was
Well,
like, that's what I was.
that's a different guy. That's a different guy. But yeah, that's
Are
their
we thinking
character
of
actor.
different guys?
Yeah,
Well,
we are
I'm
thinking
talking
different
about the
guys.
guy. I'm thinking of talking about the guy I was talking about, Kurt Fuller. I was on his IMDb page. I wasn't really listening. I apologize.
Yeah, Kurt Fuller, yeah, that was one of the producers, but Stephen Thompson was Thorson was like the guy who was like the bodyguard throughout the movie, and then the end of the movie, like Richard Dawson, like right before he gets put in the fucking thing, is like, hey, can you help me out? And he's like, no, you're a dick to me. Fuck off. Take it. So, but regardless, every
Oh,
single
Richard
stalker,
Richard Thorson was also in Conan.
yeah. But regardless,
Yes.
every stalker gives a great performance. Jesse Ventura, I've talked
Where's
about it
that
enough.
Sonya?
But Jesse Ventura is just so much funny. The fact that he comes into one scene, he says he has all this like weird gear on him that like clearly he does not want. He's like, Richard Dawson, I'm not gonna do it. Like this is fucking bullshit. And then he's get written out of the movie right there. But it's so funny to see him just like take off all the gear. He's like, I'm not about this. This is not me. It's not the body Ventura.
Yeah, I love the name too. Was it Captain Freedom?
Yeah.
It's so
Uh,
perfect. It's just like Homelander, like it's like the
I just
ultimate patriot, like Captain America, but tweaked a little sleazy. You know, it's great.
I just love like the
Are you
fan
ready,
reactions to
comedy
all the
partner?
different
Waka
stalkers.
waka.
Like you have like immediately people like so psyched for fucking Buzzsaw's gonna come in, and Buzzsaw's the one that gets his fucking balls chainsawed at the end and like sings high. It's like
Mhm.
this movie. Oh, again, it rocks.
Amazing.
Are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
All right, fellas. Does The Running Man work as a Muppet adaptation?
Okay,
Oh yeah.
so I think you keep Arnold as the human because I think Arnold will work very well with Muppets, and then you keep
Kind of
Richard
surprising
Dawson's
there was never a Arnold Muppet crossover.
right because Stallone was on the Muppet Show in the 70s. And I guess the Muppet Show was dead by the time Arnold like really took ascension.
But
But still, like,
An Arnold kids movie in the 90s with the Muppets just seems like a home run, and I'm surprised it never happened.
or even a cameo, because Muppets from Space had Hulk Hogan do a cameo of the Muppets right there. So like you could have had Arnold like pop up very briefly in like a brief sketch or something like that would have worked. But this movie, I think, definitely could have worked. I think you had Richard Dawson be replaced by what Kermit right there,
Sleazier.
a little sleazier. So
He needs
maybe
sleazier.
Sam the Eagle, I think actually would be a good Richard Dawson replacement right there.
Ooh, I could see it.
Yeah, he'd be the host.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be the host 100%. And
And
then
you have him look all stern in the background, but like when he's out, he's like, "Welcome, everyone." Did you see Sam the Eagle smile for the first time? That would be yeah.
Is Snuffleupagus
amazing.
who are the hunters?
All right, so I think one has to be Rolf. So
Buzzsaw's Gossamer, you know, like the big
Yeah.
Sweetums is Dynamo.
Sweetums, that's it. Yes, Sweetums, definitely.
Sweetums is Dynamo. I was thinking Snuffleupagus could be the chainsaw.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I'm
think
just
they could
thinking of
fit in there.
I'm thinking of big Muppets. I don't know if that really helps. And then
Fits.
Gonzo is Fireball because he just has a proclivity for fire.
Yeah, that worked perfectly. Gonzo just being like way too serious right there.
Who's Captain Freedom?
That should be
Wow.
Sam the Eagle, though, no? I think Kermit's the
Sam the
host.
Eagle fit. Well, no, we said Sam the Eagle's the host. And
I
then
know, but I'm
Kermit-
saying I'm flipping the casting around. This is a casting session,
yeah.
so just a discussion.
Maybe we do the gender flip reboot and fucking it's Miss Piggy
Piggy's
as
the host.
Jesse Ventura. No, Jesse Ventura is Miss Piggy.
Ooh, I love
Ooh,
it.
I could see that with her karate chop.
Yeah,
that works. That
That
works.
could be fucking hilarious because
You have her doing the yoga. It's perfect.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. It'd be amazing.
It works.
So right there, go for
Stamp it.
All right, review time, fellas. Give me your score out of 5. Dowling, we'll kick it off with you.
All right. I think this is such a fun movie, and you can go real deep, and I do think there's some meat on this bone. Like, it does call a lot of stuff correct, like reality TV, the masses, like get you tell it's almost like they hit so many things right, and I think they still got a lot of great laughs. I think this movie is the definition of a 4 all day. It you have to work hard to not have fun watching this movie, and I think if you wanna think about it, there's a lot you could think about too.
Yeah.
Tommy?
All right. So I definitely echo Dylan's sentiments that like a lot of this movie is really fun and like it's just a blast and like how like predicted the rise of AI, the rise of like deep fakes and everything like that. I think that every single Stalker performance is hilarious, and this movie is just like so much fun. But the one thing that's lacking from this movie is just like an extra push on the satire. I think that if you had a director that was better than Paul Michael Glazer, this movie would have been a total S tier, a top tier Arnold classic. So, I think that the first half of the movie gets there, but then the second half they just abandon it completely. But regardless, this movie's fun. This movie rocks. I love watching this movie. I never complain when I'm watching The Running Man. So my final score has got to be a 3.5 out of 5, 7 out of 10. Uh, Fun movie, but if you had a better director, it would have been just in the upper tier.
So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5, but I'm gonna give this a big, big, big. Like I can't even rate it this way in Letterboxd because it's a large 3 out of 5. The
Yeah.
three that large 3 exemplifies how much fun you're gonna have watching this. It is a lot of fun. For me, it might be the satire that's like clearly in the subtext of this that's just completely glossed over, and that it's, like, missing and not taking those elements and strunging it up. Um, your line before of, "This is a Paul Verhoeven movie. We have Paul
Yeah.
Verhoeven at home,"
At
is, like,
home, that was
the
perfect.
perfect
Yeah, yeah.
description of this movie. It's fun. The action is fun. Again, it's just one of those things where it's like the action's good, but I feel like it could have been great in like a better director's hands. It's just a lot of that in this movie that I feel like it's over the cusp of. It's a movie I would recommend for people to watch, but it's definitely like you're having a boys' night. Throw on The Running Man, have some beers. You're,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna have a
It
blast
it's
watching this.
it's the
This is
definition of a couple of beers movie.
Mhm.
yeah.
Have a couple of beers with
This is a staple of like a 3 or 3.5 out of 5, but 5 stars of fun. You're not gonna have a bad time with The Running Man.
that's why I landed on 4.
Yeah.
Every
Exactly. That's the hard point for me where like I'm debating where I'm like, this movie's really fucking fun and I have a blast every time I see it, but I can see the flaws. So it's like, where do I rate it?
I look at it like it's a B game show, and it knows it's a B game show. That's why it's a
Richard the Richard Dawson scenes are a 5 out of 5 for me.
Oh,
They're so
the
much fun.
best part of the movie. It's
Yeah,
so good.
but
easily. Yeah.
All right. Well, Dowling, thank you so much for joining us on here. We love having you on as always. And when
Oh,
I
thanks,
forced
man.
Tommy to watch Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, we will
Yo.
have you back on for that.
Oh my god.
I'm
Yeah.
go.
Coming in costume.
I'm
Di
go-
I
we are going to
Di
do a pre-recorded episode of that where Dowling just spills his guts, and then we'll actually
Oh
record the
yeah.
episode so that way we just get it out of his system.
Yo, yeah. No,
fi
I'll tell you what I plan to talk about, and then
I can
you
nick I
can
can nick some
say,
I can nick some
yeah,
stuff, yeah,
make
because like
some
Whiskey,
cuts.
we'll have a pre-talk for 5 hours, and then 5
Yeah.
hours later, we'll
Then
be like,
we'll
"Okay,
then
now
we'll
we can
shear
record."
that down.
Yeah,
Real
exactly.
down.
um
Distill it.
thank you for joining us as always. Tommy, any final thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
Well, again, Richard Dawson fucking rocks. So this movie rocks too. Check it out. But check out the remake too. It's gonna be fun. But anyways, check us out on social media at SCENEIT Pod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and we're also on Blue Sky. That's podsceneit.bluesky.social. And leave us a 5-star review. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Helps us out, helps us grow the show. And we're in the midst of Action Month on Haven't Seen It Here. Next week is going to be Rambo, First Blood. I have never seen it.
I have
It's a
never seen it
Stallone
either.
What?
it's a Stallone classic. Downey was probably, like, so pissed off he wasn't invited for that one too, but we're gonna be covering it. I've seen a
Wow.
Rambo movie before, but not this original one.
How do
So
you do this every time? You're like, "Oh, I watched Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country."
Okay,
Like
Star Trek 6 and Rambo: First Blood are not
No, but
the
he
same.
always watches the sequels first. It's amazing.
yeah, no, I mean, that definitely was the thing, like, the
He
first
saw
Indiana
Rocky Balboa before Rocky. What do you
That well,
fir
have
that one
against
I get because
Stallone?
that came out while we were in, like, the prime of,
Here's
like,
the thing,
going to movies. Like, I get
when
that.
I was, like, in middle school, like, the first Indiana Jones movie I saw was Crystal
Ugh,
Skull, unfortunately.
Oh,
ugh.
you see what I
Um
mean, folks? This is horrific.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's some ones where it's like, "What, really? Like, that was the first one you saw?" So, there's some ones I have to think of, but
If
Crystal
you
Skull's
see
the one.
Godfather 3 before Godfather, we can't be
Uh
friends anymore,
oh, Done,
Tommy.
done, done, don't worry, we covered Godfather and Godfather
Oh
2 on this
god.
podcast.
Okay,
And we
okay.
will cover Godfather 3 at some point when we get around to it. Because sometimes I just like, when Tommy puts me through like, a really aggressive month of horror, sometimes I just have to combat with, like, "Here's a 3-hour movie, Tommy, have fun." And I
Sit
know
down
he's
and
just
eat your
sitting there and
spinach, you
I know he's
ungrateful
just sitting
wretch.
there like, damn, god damn
Yeah.
Yeah, and the bad thing is that, like, they're movies, like, I know I should watch and, like, I know
it.
that are, like,
And
known as
they're
classics.
always good, yeah.
They're bad, but I'm always just like, "Ah, fuck, like, I have to commit to this right now," because like, I'm never, like, committed to be like, "Oh, like, let me go in." I talked about this before on the podcast, but I bought Jackie Brown at 4K, and I've been, like, it's been, like, months since I've been, like, thinking, like, "Let me throw on a 3-hour movie right now." I know the movie's good, I know I like it,
Nah,
but
it's my
it's the
least
time
favorite
commitment.
Tarantino.
Well, thank you all so much for listening
Not gonna touch
today.
on that.
We're gonna cut that.
We'll see you next time.